Welcome back. So I'm going to bring up the topic that it seems like everybody in Republican circles talks about all the time, which is Donald Trump. You heard Nancy Mace sort of basically say, well, I'll support whoever the nominee is, indicating that it could be Trump. Here is Glenn Youngkin and Dan Crenshaw earlier this week talking about the Trump factor, or shall we say, not talking about it. Take a listen.
President Trump is going to do what President Trump wants to do. And it's not my job to decide who should run and who shouldn't run.
I'm not going to tell President Trump not to run or say that it's even not in the best interest of our party. Everybody who wants to run should. He should give the people that choice.
Sarah, I know the politics of it, but even in a general election, why have been so many Republicans so afraid of basically cutting off the Trump issue?
Well, he could be the nominee. And so do you want to spend the rest of the 2024 cycle, if you're on the ballot, talking about that one interview you gave where you said you wouldn't support him, and now the pressure in your primary and your general election is all about him? Is that what you want your race to be? That's why they're not answering it, and it's prudent politics. But look, I think, there is an argument to say the best scenario for Republicans is for Donald Trump to run and to be defeated in a primary. And it looks like that's possible. I mean, recent polling has showed as much as 50% of the base would like someone else to be on the top of the ticket in 2024.
Jen, what is your, in the White House there, you were there when you didn't say his name.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't
or
say
Marjorie
his name.
Taylor Greene's name.
Because,
Said none of their names.
Right. You don't say their name. Like, it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Somehow it won't show up if you don't say their name. Now he leans into it more. Why?
Well, look, if you go back to 2020, and I didn't work on the Biden campaign, he ran very aggressively about how Donald Trump, on the message that Donald Trump wasn't fit for office, right? There was a strategic decision made when he came into office that that's not what the public wanted. The public wanted a president who was going to try, and every president tries to do this, maybe save Donald Trump, is to kind of expand the base of people who is interested in them. But now it's election season again. He did a lot of what he wanted to do, much of it in a bipartisan way, getting legislation done. And now the gloves are off. He's got to maintain control of at least one house of Congress.
You know, Amna, I watch him at these rallies, and I'm thinking, I know Ted Budd has to be there. I can't think this is good politics in North Carolina or in any swing state right now. I know it's good primary politics.
It's good primary politics. I think you are seeing a shift, right? You saw how many of the candidates that he backed up and down the ballot made it through the primaries, repeating some of the election lies, aligning themselves close to Mr. Trump, and some of them have started to distance themselves now and kind of corrected some of the language they were using, pulling back on some of the more extremist abortion views and some of the election 2020 language as well. And we may see some of that, but I think we have to remember, like, his base isn't going anywhere. They have been with him. The numbers have been absolutely locked in after he lost the election, after a violent insurrection on the Capitol. That's there. But that's a third of the electorate. You can't launch a re-election campaign with a third of the electorate. It's the independents that they're watching really carefully, and you are seeing ticking down in support among independents.
Every time, though, we're at this point, there's always some moment where he seems to like get it back. At some point, the dip will remain, but we just never know when.
Well, there's this question about whether these investigations actually help Donald Trump, and I think the real question is which investigation, because Trump world was rather quiet, not silent, but quiet during the January 6th investigation. I don't know that we would know about the Justice Department's investigation if not for Donald Trump. He let the world know that they were searching Mar-a-Lago, and it's been interesting to watch something of the divide between elected Republicans who have felt the need to rally around him in that moment versus sort of the rank-and-file Republicans, and you're seeing it in our own poll, right? That his hold on the party is not what it used to be.
It is until it changes. That's something we've come to learn. All right, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a sweet new year if you're celebrating it. So happy Rosh Hashanah. We'll be back next week because if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.